three topics that I really hate. One is Adriana Lemus. Now, if you guys aren't familiar, this irrelevant person, we'll call her animal, human being, um, by the name of Adriana Lemus. She was the obsessive compulsive ex-girlfriend of the late Philip Fizzerp Klemenov. Now, if you guys don't know who Fizzerp is, he is a Call of Duty veteran pro player. He was in the game since Call of Duty 4, which is when he started playing. He was a GB kid. He hit the pro scene in MW2. You know, he won his first LAN in Black Ops 1, I think. But, you know, the kid's just, he was a legend just in general. People really fucked with him because of his S&D strats and whatnot. His nade spots were really known. People practiced them all the time. They became really good too. So he, you know, constantly, he constantly changed the game as it was. What is in my shoe right now? Hold up. Turf. I have turf in my shoe. Why do I have turf in my shoe? I play indoor soccer. Sorry about that. I completely forgot I played soccer. Now, the thing is that before, I don't have a lot of information on before what, you know, Adriana Lemus did, or, you know, how her relationship was with Fizzerp. And I'm not gonna really attempt to talk shit. I'm just saying what other people have said about it. There were multiple reports that she was an obsessive, very controlative type of girlfriend that Fizzerp really did not want to talk to anymore. But he had no, I mean, he felt bad because at the same time people knew that Fizzerp was like a ladies' man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna sound pretty weird, but he is pretty good looking for a teenager. Like, he was the original E-boy. People really liked him, especially girls. Girls really liked him. Now, the question of that being is, like, that doesn't really have to do anything. That even though he had a relationship, he's always gonna get hit up. Like, people just like him a lot. And Adriana Lemus originally dated him, and then she broke up with him. I'm guessing is what I'm getting from the story, and she begged him and whatnot to come back to him, like, oh, let's please, like, Phil, just please forgive me and whatnot. I think they got, like, a very volatile relationship, and what ended up happening was that she begged for him. She constantly back and forth, like, fought with him, but at the same time she begged for him to, you know, please leave, please come back to me, like, I really need you. So that's the story. Sadly, Fizzerp dies in a car crash with first of all, Adriana Lemus and his friend Marcellus. Very sad story. It brought me to my knees. Actually, I was actually very stunned because I was watching his stream the night it happened, and next morning, it's Sunday morning. I missed church, and I'm getting a bunch of ats and mentions on, like, DMs and mentions on Twitter saying, "Yo, check your Twitter. Rip Fizzle just died." I was like, man, shut up. He probably just got world started in GB or something. He came back online because I also went out that night, and it's kind of weird because that night I actually had, like, really bad. I was like, yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, tonight feels really weird. Like, you know when you get a bad vibe about one night, it's probably time you should go home. And I looked down, like, and it verified. Pro player Fizzerp died after about an hour after his car crash in the hospital, and I was just, like, really sad because he was my favorite pro player of all time. Like, get it that when I started playing, you know, competitive, even as a GB kid, I try to identify myself with a pro player, or at least somebody from the professional scene of any sort of sport or esport. Like, I used to really fuck with Halo, so my favorite pro player will always be it's Pistola. Pistola is one of the best renowned Halo players of all time, and I will always identify with him. So if I ever need to watch how, like, get back into Halo, let's say we ever just get back into Halo becomes a big thing, I'm always going to watch how Pistola plays, just, you know, his movements, how he properly kills people in the game, you know, because I haven't played Halo in a long time, and I used to be like a Halo god. I used to literally body people left and right in Halo. But the question is that I always try to look for one. And my week back then, long time ago, my weakest game mode was search and destroy. I was very impatient, very convulsive the way I played. Like I used to always get first blooded. I mean, obviously, I was that aggressive sub who would rush to the middle of the map, and I never used to play dubs. I used to just play 4v4, and that's like if you give up a life, somebody can always trade it. That's the mentality I always had in my head. We go into, I believe it was Black Ops 2. We go into Black Ops 2. I start playing dubs matches with some of my friends. He said let's play doubles. And I was like, doubles? I mean, I've never played doubles. I don't know anything. I just really just watch one side of the map. Can't really watch lanes and stuff like that. You just watch a single side of the map or just rush right through it. And he's like, well, try it out. And I did awful. I went 0-8 3 games in a row. And he said, man, you know what you should do? You should go and watch another, some pro player streams. And I searched up, just like I was a kid, like I was like 17 or 16. Actually, no, I think it was 16, like early 16. Search up best S&D player of all time, and it had like a list. It was Fizzerp was first, Killa was second, Embos. I don't know if this list is just pro players, but there was also like Illy, and actually not Illy. It was another pro player, but just like really good S&D players. And I started watching his streams, and I really clicked with him because he had an ego, but it was like a knowledgeable ego. It wasn't like a Killa ego. Killa, great S&D player, great LAN player, delusional at times. Back to the topic. Fizzerp dies. I'm actually like devastated. My mom was like, "Are you alright?" Like, I know, like she was actually like, "I'm sorry that this had to happen." She's just like pray for him and stuff like that. 'Cause my parents are actually pretty Christian, and it just went silent for a while until speculation started to come up that he was on drugs, that he drank that night, and then they're like Adriana Lemus came out she moved on and don't get me wrong, it's always I wouldn't say when it's good, but it's healthy for a person to not forget the past, but sort of move on. Because if they dwell on their past, it's really bad. It's really bad for your health because you're constantly remembering bad things, and it's not always good to keep bad things in your mind. It's not so bad either. You learn from your mistakes, but this is she sort of crossed the borderline of being a complete bitch, and she took a picture with her new boyfriend. Let's say new boyfriend. Congratulations. Are you happy? Yeah, we're happy. We're happy for you to a certain extent. And then she started putting. She actually had the nerve to have an actual argument with Fizzerp's mother over his death, saying that he was popping pills. And don't get me wrong, popping pills is to a certain extent morally wrong. In a controlled environment, fuck it. Take DMT if you want to, as long as you're safe. Whether how do you say? Whether I don't condone the use of mind-altering drugs while you're driving, and that was probably if in the case that he did. It sucks. He died. That's something we can't control anymore. We really can't. So she started putting out these speculations, and then it was just that's kind of fucked up, but I mean, if he did, he did. But it doesn't change the type of person he was. He was always a really good friend, very supportive. And then she goes on a complete butt fuck rant saying, if he did, he would, if he I remember one stupid ass tweet. It was a really dumb ass tweet that said he'd still be alive if he didn't kill himself. And I shit, to the extent where I was, oh dude, I went on a rant on Twitter, and I posted a couple fucked up memes. But the thing being is that she became really disrespectful with her tweets, and I tweeted her multiple times what's wrong with you? She kept on literally pouring one after the other and responding to people's tweets oh, well, I don't give a fuck about what I have to say. She acted like she was entitled to whatever the fuck she was saying. And I tweeted her like, please just do us a favor, go out back, load a bullet in a whatever gun, like a Nerf gun or something, just I don't know, a gun that'll actually sustain a certain amount of damage, and just blow your brains out, please. No one really cares about you at this point. And she act like she's part of this community now. Like this Call of Duty community is now welcoming her. Oh, you become a Fizzer's girlfriend. You're part of us now. No, that's not how it works. Kenzie Lee, cringiest bitch on the web. She dated Scump, cheated, or whatever the fuck happened. Really bad relationship. But she still plays and streams. This bitch does nothing for us. Nothing whatsoever. Doesn't stream, doesn't do anything, completely irrelevant. Even, funny thing is, even at official Natalie, which is Natalie Monroe, an ex-Brazzers porn star who dated Parasite. Well, I think they had a thing. I don't even think they dated. I don't think they fucked at this point. But they were they had a thing. But I mean, at least she streams. I mean, she does cam girl stuff. But at least she streams on Twitch. She plays League. But this bitch is like absolutely to the fullest extent not even an e-girl. She's just irrelevant. And she acts like she's been part of the community ever since she started dating Fizzerp. And she starts replying with these like really fucked up like responses. Keemstar this weekend, apparently Keemstar is supposed to be in a Skype call with her, where she explains her side of the story. If you don't know who Vinzilla is or Vinny is a S&D star slash he's a GB player. He's practically a pro player, like an amateur. But he asked Keemstar to get into that call. He was like, "Can I please get in that call?" And Adriana was just like, "Yo, shut your pussy ass up, you little Jesus Christ! Like, no one fucking likes you and shit like that." Like, Vinny will always be 10 times. And I love Vinny. Vinny's cool. Like, I've seen his streams. He's a fucking Don. He was a fucking Don for Black Ops 3. I don't know about IW, but MWR, he mercs. He's just a really good player. And he just wants to talk, to say his side of the story, and stick up for a dear friend that died. Like, that's, like, first of all, her first mistake was fucking with Fizzerp. Like, you do not disgrace the S&D god's name. Second of all, you don't talk shit about a dead person. You really don't. That's the worst thing you can do. Slander his name while he's alive. Once he's dead, hands off, bitch. Leave him alone. He's in peace. We like to see him in peace. And he was like, "I just want to get there." And she started talking the most, like literally the most reckless about Vinny. And I really want to see the Skype call on live on Drama Alert. Now, to the full extent of what people have been tweeting her, including me, I've tweeted some really nasty shit about her, made memes. It's out of hand. Like we really are getting pretty abusive with this. But at the same time, like if I was in Vinny's position, I'd be doing the same too, because that's like my friend who died, like a really dear friend of mine, and it's just really fucked up that she did that. And I really want to see what goes down in Drama Alert, regardless whether he did pop pills or whatever. The consequences of its own. Bizarre obviously isn't with us anymore, unfortunately. You know, I think everybody either did pray for him or will pray for him. Because he's peaceful right now. He's gone to a better place, obviously. But this bitch has like literally no say whatsoever on whatever this is. She's like, "I really loved him," and now she's going like full on like disrespectful. And I'm sorry, Natasha, which is Fizzer's mom. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. You have to deal with her shit talk and her bullshit, because it really isn't fair to you. You lost your child. Like, I understand if you're in pain, because that's your only child. Like, I can't say I know what you're feeling right now, but I understand, because I have a mom too, and she would give the world for me. And it's just really sad to have a mom who lost her child, who was pretty known. He was very known, verified on Twitter and everything. Like, the kid was someone. He became someone. It's like, whether he's, and most parents will say like, "Oh, he's not a successful businessman." it doesn't matter. As long as he's happy, that's what life should be about, just being happy. And she's just going in on this kid's life, and I'm sorry, Natasha, I really am. So that's all I gotta say about Adriana. Adriana, she's a complete bitch for doing this. And if I may have to go to the extent of saying that if you ever see me at a LAN, at Atlanta or Champs, if you ever decide to show up at a LAN, catch me outside. How about that? Because you won't catch hands. Which you're extremely disrespectful, and I believe you should just go. Like, have you heard of the Himalayas? Just go live up there, like far from society. Because I hope you never even reproduce to this. So at this point, please don't ever reproduce. Thank you. Now, second topic, NJROD and the pro players. Now, NJROD, if you guys don't know, NJROD is what we used to call King of the Couch. It's a an amateur, grassroots type of LAN where you got amateurs. I think even early pro players were playing at NJROD. Like that's where people start to play, and it was pretty good. Now, the way that the CWL worked last year really shat on pro players to an extent because we weren't able to play with the people that we wanted to play with, and that really weakened esports teams and esports organizations altogether because professional and even amateur esports teams, they're looking for the best talent, and nowadays, like, the best talent isn't even in the older kids, like the kids who, whoa, why am I lagging, dude? Holy shit, I'm lagging. I'm actually lagging, dude. But yeah, like, I know everybody, like, no one wants to play with, like, a 15-year-old, like, for some odd reason, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, 15-year-olds are pretty, I mean, they're also known for being squeakers and stuff like that, but, like, take this in the best way. I've seen 20-year-olds can't do, like, a fourth of what 15-year-olds can do on COD, dude. They're like magicians, without even being talented at it. And I know that the use of keyboards nowadays is really starting to shit on the talent that is Call of Duty. Because there's speculations and rumors that we'll be able to use keyboards at LANs for console games, and I really don't deem that fair. Because, some kids, like, are just gonna be, like, straight. Whoa. I didn't see it. My bad. I just don't think that's right. But the fact that NJROD is still around, hasn't been, like, just, like, completely disbanded, because I heard that a lot of people don't even show up to NJROD, and I think that's kind of sad, because that's where some of the best pro players started. Like, I know Chino started there. I know Nihil started there. Nihil was a big NJROD warrior, dude. This kid would fly to New Jersey every year. And Yoshi, literally, I understand that the upbringing of Yoshi in the pro scene was kind of like, it was cringy to a certain extent, sort of, because apparently, like, I think he did. I want to see if I can pull up the Skype call and put it on YouTube one day. Like, he apparently faked cancer to play with pro players. I think that's kind of really fucked up. But he not only, I'm not gonna say that it's justified, because it really isn't to lie about having cancer. But the way that he played after that whole thing, the incident, Ghosts, he was known as one of the best Ghost stars of all time. Like, this kid was an S&D warrior solely because he played with pro players, not just like any, like, I'm not talking about Zuma and places like that. He was playing with the original S&D GB lords like Fizzard. He was playing with iBad, Bezo. Why is this kid right here? He's got a UAV and he's, oh my god, dude. But yeah, like, he was playing with kids like that, like. And I know iBad was pretty young at the time, but still, the kid was a warrior. And he was doing, like, disgusting things to older people that really shouldn't even be possible. Why? I can't play this match, dude. But yeah, I'm gonna be attending NJROD in March, but we have to take into consideration that I can actually pick up minors now, and I do, trust me, I know a lot of minors that just shit on people's lives constantly, but I believe that the MLG has to go back to what it used to be in order to regain some of the viewership and the talent that came with it, because back then during Black Ops 2, the youth scene wasn't even that big. It was the availability of that. If you found a good player that was solid in all the types of game modes, and he knew rotations, and he was committed, even if you had to get the permission of his parents, like, this kid was a straight warrior. And some people say, like, well, the practice isn't going to be real because he can't fly out and he can't move into the team house and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter, because I have teammates across the country who would still be able to, like, practice with me daily, and people make it happen, because they're trying to make the dream real, man. Like, that's what everybody's dream is. But if the MLG ever decides to go back, you're gonna see a rise in talent across the globe. Literally, there's gonna be so much talent back in Call of Duty that we may or may not have, even an amateur MLG bracket. There's a lot of kids who are like minors, like 16, 17, that would literally die to play LAN, and they would probably body kids left and right in LAN. And I think that's just what needs to happen. Moving on to the third story. Third story is this is just a personal life story. Recently, if you guys follow me on Snapchat or not, I have been, and I'm telling you, like, if you guys don't ever like read or follow me on Snapchat, I can be a ruthless son of a bitch. And what I mean by that is that if you decide to go and not even poke fun at me, like, poke fun, like, I can take a joke, like, I've taken jokes 100 times, but if you go and, like, you're in a group of friends and you decide to go say, oh, 100's a weirdo, he's a faggot, and a little bitch, and shit like that, and I find out, I'm not only going to say something about it, I will tell everybody, like, and I get to know people intimately. Like, if you open up to people, they open up to you, which is like a double-edged knife. At the same time, you can confide with them, but at the same time, they can take all your secrets and just fuck your face up. Like, literally, like, you will never be able to show yourself again. They will expose you, and I'm that type of person. Like, you fuck with me, I'm gonna expose you to the fullest extent of the word exposure. Now, getting to the full story, that's just an explanation of what technically happened. Like blandly speaking. I live in a neighborhood where it's predominantly Spanish. I'm just gonna stop doing this. Fucking fingers hurt. Been outside all day, looking for jobs, going on dates. But what particularly happened was, I had a friend, and we're gonna keep it anonymous for right now. Short Spanish kid. I knew him through a lacrosse player in my neighborhood, and for some odd reason, he felt like he was superior to everybody he knew. Like, he was better than everybody, since his parents practically threw money at him. He was like his parents practically, I'm not gonna be disrespectful to him, but they really didn't care about him or where he was. This kid was out till like 11, walking at night, and he was like 15. My parents would have been like, yo, 9 o'clock, you're inside the house, little shit. But I'm not gonna say anything about that. Like, kid had speakers, he had Jordans. He played in Jordans because he could just afford new ones back to back. Didn't even care. I really didn't care about the kid. He grows up, he becomes even cringier than originally he thought. Than I originally thought. Point is that he's just a cancer. He's like a tumor. Like, he wakes up and he's a day. And what originally happened was that I had met a Bolivian girl, and I'm gonna also keep her name confided, confidential. Sorry, my bad. I think I just made up a word. But she was a friend of mine, and we talked on and off about having a relationship. And she's like, I just got out of one, and, like, obviously that means no, so I'm just like, alright, whatever. Keep it as a friend. I'm just gonna help you. Like, we're just friends. and she was having beef with an Arab kid. Arab kid goes, and he confront like I confront him about it. I'm like, man, like why are you bothering her, bro? Like, just leave her alone, man. Like, there's no point. He's like, hey, but you don't. He's like, you won't go to Moe's and catch me outside. And I was like, all right, bet. I saw his AVI, look skinny, like a little frail kid, pulls up, and it's one of my ex-assistant coaches. And I was like, boy, did I fuck up. So, confront him. I'm like, man, look, I know, like, you know me, I know you. She's just my friend, and she says that you had some beef with her, and, just, like, I just want everything to be cool. Like, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to be there for her. He's like, look, you soft, and I was like, I'm not gonna take that as like an insult, like a soft, like, okay, soft. I'm soft. But, he brought like 6 or 7 of his friends, and I rolled up by myself. I really didn't care. I just rolled up by myself, and I confronted him about it, and he attacked me, and I couldn't really do anything because 6 or 7 of his friends were out there, and I knew I was getting jumped if I even remotely, like, tried to square up. So I just let it happen. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get jumped if I do anything. And I texted her, I was like, look, I don't even fuck with you like that anymore. You got me jumped. And tell me that this dude was a fucking, like, a crazy-ass nigga. Alright, she's like, just don't talk to him anymore. Don't fuck with him anymore. Here. I really don't want to talk about this. And he's like, no. He's like, come here. I'm trying to talk to you, man to man. I was like, alright, whatever. He's like, look, dude. I don't appreciate you saying all that stuff, talking all that hot shit online. But at the same time, dude, like, forgive me. Like, I've been really impulsive, and cool, like, just forgive me. Like, if you want to punch me, go ahead. I'm not gonna attack back. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, man. Like, I'm just throwing it away. Like, she don't mean shit to me at this point. Like, I really don't care about her. He's like, the same thing. He's like, how about let's both stop talking to her? And, I mean, if she wants to talk to us, like, talk to us, but just don't be like, just carry about her. Like, 'cause she doesn't really deserve anything. All she does is start beef now. But he did that, and I was like, alright, G shit, man. I was like, I'll see you later. What the hell? What's up with my internet, man? Okay. I think we should be good. I don't know why my internet just went AWOL. But the thing was is that we dapped it up. We're like, hey, man, look, nothing ever happened, right? And then she sees that I was hanging out with him, like we were at Moe's, just sitting down, and she goes, how could you hang out with him after all that beef? He's like, I was like, because you don't matter anymore. Like, we're not gonna beef about a woman. Like, I'm not that type of person that's gonna go. I'm not a white knight. Like, I'm not about to come to your rescue and stand up for you. Like, if you don't supply me with anything, if you don't give anything to me, what the fuck makes you think I'm gonna go and be your white knight, saving armor, stand up for you, get my ass kicked for you? Like, that's not how it works, sweetheart. And she became really upset. Didn't want to talk to me anymore. And multiple times, like, we saw each other. I saw them sitting down at the hookah bar again. I was like, didn't you not? I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And she was like, I was just sitting down with him just to hang out. And I don't know if she was trying to make me jealous or anything, but she was just like, like, oh, she was just like sitting there. She's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't care. Like, at this point, you're only doing yourself some harm. And what ended up happening is that I called her out one day because she apparently was talking smack about me. She was like, oh, I was like, I don't even know the kid. Like, he's a weirdo, and I heard that he's a weirdo. And so, like, she acted like she never knew me. I was like, all right, fine. And I go out, call her out. It's like, the only reason you ever talked to me was because of my dog. You like my dog, and you don't even fuck with me like that. And then she goes, and I think she, like, cried to him or something like that. Like, oh my god, he's talking shit about it. He talked to me. He was just like, I don't care. We were like, dude, we're still cool, right? He's like, yeah, dude, I don't give a shit. Fast forward a couple months. I'm sitting at home streaming. I get a message, a Snapchat message. And it's her. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Like, I was actually mad. Like, I just lost a GB. She's like, hey. And I'm like, what do you want? Like, I literally just like a flat out. Like, what do you want? And she said, stop bothering little Carlos. And I said, who? Like, who are you talking about? I think I just said his name. Shit. Oh, yep, that's the kid. We'll just call him Little Carlos. She's like, stop bothering this kid. I said, alright, stop bothering Carlos. I was like, which Carlos again? I have like a lot of friends called Carlos. Carlos M, Carlos H, and then I got this little Carlos kid, who's my friend. Now, I haven't talked to this kid in like a good 3-4 months, practically almost a year of soccer, since he stopped playing with us. The thing about the kid is that aside from being a tumor on the dick, like imagine a dick tumor, he's also a cock block, shit talker, and he takes everything to heart. Like, I'm talking about everything. Our soccer group is like AIDS in a cup. If AIDS took on a physical form, and we how do I say this? We roast each other sometimes. Hey, like we say something like, let's say somebody says something stupid like, oh yeah, she was on that dick. Like let's say she was like, yeah, dude, it was party. Like she was on that dick, and then somebody goes, let's say, he's like, oh shit, Victor, Michael was on your dick, and then we all just start laughing, and it's shit like that. He tried to hit on Hooters waitress. We trolled the shit out of him, and it was like, it was funny to a certain extent until he started bringing my name into it and bringing her name into it and saying that like the kid who created the fake account that said Alejandro, who like messaged her, it was one of our soccer. Like I've already forgiven it. I don't give a shit. And like I just want to clear shit up with her. But then he tried to act all buddy with me, and I was like, nah, that's not how it works, man. I'll see you later, I guess. I don't know. And he took it to heart that he stopped talking to the other soccer people. He tried to talk to me a couple times. I was like, alright, dude, whatever. Took it to heart. We stopped talking with her. The original beef that starts is that she starts hanging out with him. With that little Carlos kid. And apparently Carlos said like, oh, I had a soccer group with Alejandro. And she's like, oh, I know that Alejandro kid. He's cancer. Okay. Congratulations. You've mathematically found out that I'm cancer. Everybody knows this. You don't act special. He goes, well, yeah. He's like, yeah, they used to roast me and bully me and shit. And so that's when she goes and has the nerve to send me that message saying that I bully him. And bullying, I'm not saying that the bullying was like, getting to me. Or like, I think it got to him, of all people. Got to him. And we'll keep it at the point where he goes to the extent of like, he actually doesn't do anything about it at first. And I told her, I was just like, yo, I don't even talk to that kid, bro. Like, I really don't. And she says, okay. And I'm like, you're suspect as fuck. Just leave me alone. And I was just like, I told her, I was like, you're suspect, yo. Just leave me alone. She goes, okay. Like, whatever. Bye. And I was like, alright, bye. And like I put both of them on call. I was just like, yo, Carlos. I was like, why you talking? Why you saying some shit, bro? Like, I don't fuck with that. What's up? Say it to my face. Like, we can settle this like dudes. Like, we gonna talk this out. I really don't want anything to happen. And then I get to roasting her on Snapchat. I guess I sort of brought this onto myself, but I'll deal with it. It's my issue. And we're gonna deal with it. And she screenshots a bunch of stuff, and she texts me. She's like, yo, why are you so immature? Like, I tried to help you. You didn't try to help shit. You didn't try to help me in anything. Like, name one, and I'm talking about one time you ever tried to help me. One time. Aside from saying, oh, please don't mess with him. Don't talk to him. I don't want any more beef. You only care about yourself. So, matter of the fact is that she's been known in my area, both good and bad. She works at the Chick-fil-A, so everybody's seen her face before. But the thing is that what they don't know is that I'm not gonna go and say she's a hoe, but People know her inside and out, intentions and internal organs. Keep it at that. And they say, she's a gold digger and whatnot. I don't give a shit. The matter of the fact is that I went and roasted her, and the little Carlos kid shows up to my house. Sorry, I gotta answer this text real quick. And I was like, we can, he comes to talk to me. He talks to my mom because he needs a job. My mom's a manager at a food line. And then he goes, yo, can I talk to you real quick? I was like, yo, what do you want? He goes, yo, he's like, sorry about all that shit. He's like, sorry about all that shit that happened. And, like, she was in Miami at the moment. She was on a little vacation, and she was drunk texting me. Well, she was like crying to me on the phone all the way in Miami, saying that sorry about all the thing. Like, apparently she had talked a bunch of shit about me, and then she acted like it was him, and then she said all this shit, and I was like, dude, I don't matter. Like, I stopped fucking with her a while ago. And I told myself, just leave her alone, dude. Trust me. Like, from experience, the pain and the shit that she's caused me, it's not worth it, bro. You don't want it. He never listened to me. So I go in, and he's like, let's just go to Moe's. Let's just hang out at Moe's. And I was just like, he seems like a cool kid now. Apparently, he bought like a really nice, like an old sports car, but it's still really nice. And I was like, hey, damn, man, that's cool. Let's celebrate. Let's go to Moe's. Moe's is a hookah bar. And and we're celebrating, we're taking pictures, we put it on Snapchat, and I was just like, and he's just like, I just stopped. He told me, he's like, I stopped fucking with her. Alright, I don't give a shit, but kudos, man. He's like, I'm already talking to somebody else. Kudos, great. You're doing good for yourself, kid. For the moment. Actually. Will that kill me? Nope. And what bothers me is that, we took a picture, we were like, hey man, gang, you were never one of us. And if you don't know people in my area, Farzan Shirazi is the GOAT. Like, he's the party plug. Like, not the plug isn't drug wise, but he knows where he knows where the move's at. He knows where the move's at, like, and that's his line. He got that from I think it was Back to Back by Drake, where he goes, gang, you were never one of us. And he says that, like, he says gang, you were never, he says gang, squatch it, you were never one of us. That's it, like, on 3 of his pictures already. Like, that's the quote, or the caption. And so I say that, I was like, gang, you were never one of us. And she took it to heart, and apparently, like on her knees, like bleeding knees, begged him for like forgiveness. And she goes and screenshots more of my shit later on. And she's like, and he messages me after one of the Snapchat roasts and goes, he's like, man, why are you talking to my girl like that? And it was like the Twilight Zone. The last 48 hours does not just happen. And I was like, weren't you just talking shit about her last night, saying how you don't want anything to do with her? And he was just like, that's none of your business. And I was like, alright, you're right, it's none of my business. So I decided to go on another Snapchat chat, rant again. I was like, yo, how you gonna do that, nigga? You a snake, like, da. And I just continued to do this. I guess, like, egg them on, because I know the kid's not gonna do shit. And she goes, oh, you're fucking done. Like, as if she's gonna go get her hitters and her snipers and get me out in the streets. I'm like, I don't give a shit, dude, do it. Take me out of this existential thing that's my life. I seriously want to die at this point. Because everybody around me is just cancer, aside from my family and some friends. Just cancer, AIDS, HPV, itchy dick. Like, I'm really tired of it. So, and she threatens me. I'm like, Alright. You're right. You're right. You're gonna do something about it, right? Okay, cool. So, he was, apparently, like, the other night, he was talking smack about me. Like, as if he was gonna do something. And I told him, like, I put him on blast again. I was like, yo, if you want this work, you gonna cut his hands, bro. And people were trying to start up a fight, and I was like, dude, if you want to start it up, fine, fuck it, do it. And the funny thing is that he's like fresh legal, like he's fresh meat, like 18 years old. This kid can finally catch hands from a real nigga. Like he's gonna catch hands. And the matter of the fact is that he's messing with someone who, like, really, I don't care about my life or my future at this point. I dropped out of college for a reason. Play video games and I work. It's existential. It's a droning. How do you say it? Like a drill at this point. It's not even a day. I don't live in days. I live in drills. Like I wake up, piss excellence, eat breakfast, hop onto an MWR, work. Come back, end up all night, wake up again, and it's like a everyday thing now. If somebody could just do it, just go and fucking murder me. I'm not killing myself, but please don't grant me the slow, quick ease of death at this point. And I was like, I'm not really afraid, man. You about to catch hands. Like you're really catching hands now. And I decided to go watch somebody play at the Sportsplex, and he rolled up. And he looked at me and he's like, yo, he's like, yo, why are you talking shit about me? And without a question, without saying, like, answering his question, I said, let's take this outside. I was ready to just knock the fuck out. I'm going to pummel you on the ground. And he's like, no, but let's start, like I want to talk. I was like, no. What the fuck all that talk? It's time for action now. Like, you got to do this or what? He did not want to come outside. He didn't want to come outside. I told him, I was like, if you're not doing it, then shut the fuck up and leave me alone. And he didn't want to come outside. And he stood there, and people were trying to get them out. Like, he was like, they were pushing back. I was like, yo, let's do this outside. Let's go. Let's get it. I want to snap the shit out of you. And the coach, one of the coaches came over, was like, yo, both of you need to chill out. And I publicly, I don't give a shit, like, about you or your general life. I really don't. And I was like, no, we selling this right now, bro. Either outside or in here. And he was walking away. And he said, cut it out. And I said, you cut it out, dude. Turn around. And he smacked me, we were like face to face. He walked away and then went like that. So out of the cut, I already looked away, and I immediately went to throw hands. And then people were holding him back and holding me back. One of the coaches stuffed my face, and I was about to fuck him up too. He was like an old 21, 24-year-old. I really didn't give a shit at this point. And I told him, I was just like, oh, you won't catch it now, dude. And he came back. A bunch of white people were looking at us, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not about to be reckless with these white people. Like, we already causing too much of a scene. I'm not trying to get banned. And we set up that for Friday, tomorrow, I will be squaring up with him on the soccer field. And they want to include gloves. Like, I can do this bare knuckles. I don't give a shit. I'll wear my MMA gloves. You're getting your ass kicked regardless, with or without gloves. So that will be uploaded to my YouTube, a fight. I don't know if you can upload fights to YouTube. Like, official, videotape fights. Like, if street fights, okay, it just happens, it happens. But no, this is gonna be like, they're gonna be camera people. Apparently, like, people are actually paying entrance to go watch me fight. But he's gonna catch it. So just look out for that. I don't think I'm gonna catch a loss. But if last time I fought somebody, it was like a tie, and then one of his friends jumped in. So and then that's when I really got my ass kicked. But yeah. But aside from that, like, this kid's catching hands, and it's gonna be on YouTube, and I will beat his ass so hard. He will never be able to talk or even step to me at this point ever again. So those are the 3 topics for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Pray for Adriana Lemus's mind to come back into place, and hopefully she seeks reconciliation for whatever she's done now. Over Adriana Lemus, just fuck her at this point. shot right. I shot on the very borderline apparently. But yeah, just like how you say this? I'm just really done with this. Yo, I'm recording. You need to get out. I didn't push you. I just shut up. Close the door. Pussy nigga. But yep, that's about it. NJROD's about to be fun. I hope to run into some people like Nihil, some vets. Some people are like really accurate with their hip fire, dude. I'm pretty good with a sniper. I shot on the outside, dude. Oh, that took literally a minute. Oh well, guys. Hope you guys liked this video. I literally didn't even play it. I didn't really feel like playing in the first place. But that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later.